So with rounding, you need to remember the rule that's at the bottom of your page here. So 5 or more, you round up. 4 or less, you leave it as it was, okay? Or you round down depending on what you've been asked to do. Now, when you've been asked to round to 2 decimal places, if you count 2 places after the decimal point, this is where your number has to stop, okay? This is where you will be finishing your number. You then need to decide whether this stays as it is or whether you round up or down, based on the number that follows this number. Okay, so that would determine your answer there. Now, question 3 is less straightforward than questions 1 and 2. This is kind of reasoning and real problem solving. So a whole number is multiplied by 3 and then rounded to the nearest 100 to give 500. What is the smallest possible value of the number? So the smallest possible value of the number will be the smallest number multiplied by 3 that you would round up to 500. So it's going to be in the 400s. We start rounding at 450, okay, because at 449 we would round down to 400. So at 450, that would be the first number that we would round up to 500. And 450 itself is a multiple of 3. So that would be where your kind of logic would have to go. So the smallest possible value of the number would be 450 divided by 3, because remember, you're finding the original number, which is then multiplied by 3 and then rounded to the nearest 100. Now, question 4, again, is a typical kind of 11 plus question that we've seen in recent years as well. This is all about boundaries. So smallest possible number that could be rounded up, largest possible number that could be rounded down. In order to do these, I would recommend doing all your working out first and then tackling the questions. So for example, a whole number A rounded to the nearest 100 is 900. And a whole number B rounded to the nearest 1,000 is 3,000. You would then go to find your smallest possible value and your largest possible value. So your smallest and your largest, and do the same here, your smallest possible value and your largest possible value. Once you have those, you can then answer questions A and B quite straightforwardly. Just remember the smallest possible value for B minus A. To find the smallest possible value when taking away, the numbers need to be closest together. Okay, so that's another thing to bear in mind when doing these questions.